Hey, Chris Baker here. Welcome to kinesiology. Actually, it's medical anatomy and physiology, but that's a whole other story, okay? So I'm going to give you a brief rundown as to what this course looks like and what we do in the course. So I've got several goals for my students, one of which is to give them a good solid background for clinical medicine. In the event that they would like to go to nursing school, medical school, become a PA, occupational therapist, physical therapist, athletic trainer, I think that they will get a good solid clinical background. Part of the clinical background is clinical decision making. So we're going to focus on decision making, teamwork, skills on how to assess patients and how to treat patients in a teamwork setting. I use a three-pronged approach to teaching medical anatomy and physiology. We do the traditional textbook and lecture stuff, dissection, and case studies. And I'm going to give you a little overview into each of these next. As far as the textbook, these activities I built into the classroom time. So I don't pile additional work on students. I try to build in enough time inside the class period, 20 minutes or half an hour or so, for them to complete the work in class. I know that they have hobbies, they have jobs, sports, and they simply want to go home and relax. And I don't feel necessary to pile work on them and give them homework. Okay. So as far as the textbook goes, we have an online textbook that we're using. It's an open educational resource, an OER. It's the OpenStax Anatomy and Physiology online textbook. I printed it and I put it into the students' OneNote class notebook. So from within the notebook, they can read it and take notes. Let me show you here. Here's an example of one of my students. She's highlighted in different colors and she has taken notes. It's color-coded. And again, this is in OneNote. So they can highlight, they can annotate as much as they want, and they're not writing in a traditional expensive textbook. Okay. Once they have done the reading and taken notes, I then ask them to watch a video lecture that I have made of each particular reading. And this video lecture sometimes explains the more difficult concepts. Sometimes it explains it in a different way, and it is usually visual. So the video lectures are usually short. They're about 5, 6, 7 minutes long. And they use the diagrams and the sketches that are in the OpenStax online textbook. So it helps explain further details in further depth for the student. And I ask them to go back and they supplement their notes. Then afterwards, there are some practice activities, especially if the reading and the online lecture is a little complicated, a little hard to understand. We have some practice activities. In the classroom, we do stuff like Simon Says to practice for vocabulary. This course is very heavy on medical vocabulary. About 400 medical terms or so needs to be learned in the next 80 to 90 days. When they feel comfortable with the material, they can then take an online mastery check via Canvas. And the way those work is they have 3 attempts at mastery. And if they have, in those 3 attempts, if they hit 80, 90, or 100% or higher, it depends on the mastery check, the next lesson is unlocked for them. If they do not manage to reach an 80, 90, or 100% proficiency on the mastery check, they are prevented from going any further in the course. The rest of the material is not unlocked for them, and they must come see me during class, and we'll sit up here in conference, or I'll go over to the students in conference with them and help them master the material. Okay, so that's the purpose of the mastery check. Let me show you what it looks like online. So here we have up here Chapter 1 Introduction, and if you look, here is a video that I required them to watch, and in the mastery check that goes along with video 1.1. Everything else subsequently is grayed out because it is not, you're unable to click on them unless you've shown me mastery with topic or lesson 1.1. This is our progress tracker, and this is my version of the progress tracker. The student version that you have access to, and I'll show you where that is momentarily, looks a little bit different. This is very functional for me. I can see easily that Across the top here are the lessons, and along the left-hand side are the students' names. And I can see easily anybody in light green has mastered each of these lessons. Anybody that has a tan box needs to do some revision, and I will sit down with them to achieve mastery. The dark blue cells indicate where the student is along the continuum of the unit, because this unit is self-paced. Students can go as quickly or as slowly as they need to. Okay, so I have students that are quite behind already. So if there's nothing in the cells, they're a little behind. So according to this slide here, I believe we are around September 15th. So right here, they should be on 1.6a, costal through gluteal. You'll see over half the students have passed that, and I've got one student that has almost finished the unit already. So it's a good self-paced, blended mastery learning class. The emphasis is on mastering the material, not quickly, not slowly, but at whatever pace works well for the kids. Okay. The second part of what we do is dissection. We do pig fetuses. We'll be starting those in a couple weeks, and it's very important to gain spatial awareness of structures within the pig because the pigs are very similar to humans. So it's important to see structural awareness, not only see it, but touch it and move things around. They will be able to diagnose anatomical issues and physiological issues a little bit better, I believe, if they have some spatial 3D awareness. Lastly, we do case studies, and my background is in emergency medicine. I've been a paramedic for over 25 years, and I've designed many case studies. And what case studies are, it's a fictional patient that I have put together. I've built an entire case, and I take the students on a journey from point A to point Z. And in that journey, I teach them how to do what are called histories and physicals, or H&Ps. And in the history and physicals, I teach them how to interview patients, how to ask them questions, what kind of questions need follow-up. I teach them how to assess patients as well, how to do a physical exam. What are we looking for when we shine a light in the pupils? What are we listening for when we listen to lung sounds? I will help them develop a differential diagnosis, a list of possible diagnoses for this particular patient. We do one patient at a time. And I will help them figure out what diagnostic tests they need to order and interpret those test results, narrow down their differential diagnoses into a clinical impression, which is what they believe is wrong with the patient, and then develop a treatment plan for the patient. We do several case studies. The very first one is a generic case study to teach them how to do histories and physicals, and then we usually do a medical case study, and then a trauma case study, and many smaller ones in between. Okay. Last but not least, on our Canvas course website, you have access to some possibly of interest to you. The daily summary is a diary of what we do every day in all our classes. So if your student is absent or has to leave fifth period early because of an early sports dismissal, they can see what we did there in a daily summary. So the two questions I do not want to get from students are, did I miss anything, and what did I miss? Because both those answers are located in a daily summary. However, if they've read the daily summary and don't understand something, which I don't expect them to understand something if they're not in class, and they can come to me during their learn time or during class, because we generally have about 20 minutes to a half hour in class where they can work independently or in groups, and I can help conference them. And it can help get them caught up. Let's see, the progress tracker. If you'd like to see the blue button, click on the blue button. That will take you to the progress tracker to see where they are in the unit. And lastly, all my contact information is here: email, phone, and my classroom schedule. All right. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, if you have any concerns, feel free to get a hold of me. My extension is 5977, so 215-420-5977, and cbaker@hhsd.org. Thank you and have a great day.